Big emerging field in design right now is motion graphics. Motion graphics are putting your designs into animation, and there's a lot of different programs you can use for this. Photoshop actually has now a built-in timeline on the bottom, so you can do basic motion graphic stuff in Photoshop with your design work. So what I've done is I set up a document already with a bunch of elements. If you look over here, there's a bunch of layers, and what you want to really do is create all the elements that you're going to want for your design in your different layers, so that they're separate and you can edit them individually. So here's what I have. I have two different background layers, a white and a black background layer. I have a yellow bar that I'm going to use. I have a text that says screencast. I have a Mathian glow layer. I have a regular Mathian layer, and then I have the letter A on a layer all by itself. I also have this bar layer, which is basically just covering up stuff that I'm going to reveal later on in my design. So that's what I'm going to start with. Whatever you want your starting point to look like, that's the layers you want to have turned on. The rest can be turned off, and you can access them later on in your design. You want to get your timeline up, so that is here under your window pull-down menu. You don't want to view the timeline version. You want to view the frame version for this instance. Here you can change how long each frame is visible for. So if you do no delay, it's just going to flip through each one progressively. And what's cool about Photoshop is you can make layers, and then you can basically put the start and end point of the animation and tween everything in between it. So it'll fill in all the gaps with the animation for you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So the first thing I want to do is make a new frame, and what I want to do is reveal this screencast layer, which is hiding behind this bar layer. So I'm going to move this bar layer down so that screencast becomes visible. So if I go from left to right, this is what it looks like. And I really want this to happen not instantaneously. I want to fill this in kind of in the middle. If you ever remember those little flip books when you were a kid, kind of the same idea. I'm going to add those stages or transitions in between this. So I select these two layers, hit this tween button, and I can put in how many frames I want to add in between this. Now, 30 frames is 1 second of video time. So I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to fill in all of those frames in between. So I can watch this now, play it, and you'll see that screencast becomes revealed. So it fills in all those in between spaces. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make another frame here. And this time I will take this bar and slide it to the right so that my yellow line on the bottom here becomes visible. And then I'll tween that as well. So I hit the tween button. Maybe I'll do this one a little bit faster, 10 frames. And I will start and play that so you can see what that looks like. Okay. Next up, I want to reveal the A up here. So I will turn on that layer, and I'm just going to quickly tween that so it fades in really fast, maybe like 5 frames. The last step, I want to blend from this Mathian to that Mathian text. So I'm actually put my glow layer on top here because I think that'll look a little bit better. And I'm going to turn and tween. This one I want it to happen a little bit slower, so I'll do like 30 frames for this, so it slowly fades to the yellow. So I'm at 64 frames now, which is about 2 seconds. What I also want to do is right before it starts to turn to yellow, I want to flash to white, just to add a little bit extra effect. We'll see how that looks. So I got to find that layer. If you click as you're going through, you'll be able to find where that's at. So probably right about here is where the yellow starts blending in. See that? So on this step, I'm going to just change my background to white so it flashes in white real quick. And we'll see how it looks. If it doesn't look good, I can always change it back. And now we'll play it. And there it is, the basics to motion graphics using Photoshop.